I'm trying to understand why you didn't say we need to expand our testing and contact tracing capacity rather than just accept what you actually did, which was accept the capacity as a given, because we know now that we were able to expand the testing capacity, we were able to expand the contact tracing capacity. So why didn't you advise that in January or February?
So Sir Jeremy Farrar gave an extremely sensible answer on this, is you cannot stand these things up practically. And one of the ways you can really mess up...
So we did stand them up.
I respectfully differ. It has taken us, even now, you're going to say, I suspect, at some point, because people keep on saying, why is test, trace and isolate not brilliant now? This is after we've had huge investment and many months of preparation. The idea you can suddenly switch this on, I'm afraid, is incorrect. And the way you run emergencies badly is to try and run them based on a theory of what you could do rather than with the tools you have at your disposal. And that is the way that we had to run it, and that is the way we did run it. And you can criticize it, but the constraint goes, if we'd wished to build this capacity up, we could have done so in previous years. But to do it from a standing start where we were and expect that to bear the brunt of this, whether or not it was a good idea, and that's a second order question. The first order question is, can you do it? If the answer is no, then you don't worry about it any further, you move on.
So you look back on the advice you gave in January and February on testing and contact tracing, and you think that was the correct advice, just to be absolutely clear, given that the capacity we had there, it was the correct thing to say that we stop community testing on March the 12th. You stand by that advice?
Yeah, so the words that carry the most weight in that is given the capacity we had. Given that capacity, that was, in my view, the correct advice, because that capacity had to be used for other things, which were, by this stage, we were already in a situation where there was a big risk. We were missing cases in hospitals, and we were not being able to treat people, and we were leaving people in ITUs without being diagnosed, and so on. There were multiple things that this capacity had to be used for, and in relative terms, had we had infinite capacity, had we had test, trace and isolate, absolutely. There was no conceptual reason for saying we don't want to do this. It was entirely practical.